Front Row MMA here at BAMMA 12 at the Newcastle Metro Radio Arena with matchmaker and all-around good guy Jude Samuel. Now, Jude, it was your birthday today?
Yesterday. Dean Emerson's birthday today. Happy birthday, Dean.
And not the greatest birthday present with 17 pullouts over the course of making this card. As a promoter, how do you deal with that, mate?
I'm the matchmaker, not the promoter.
I'm sorry. You can just give me a smile. As the matchmaker, you know, how do you deal with that?
It was extremely hard, actually. Really hard. And it was pullouts for various reasons and stuff like that. You know, injuries, etc. But also some real kind of like silly issues and. I was kind of a bit upset, a bit disappointed because as a promoter and also as a martial artist myself, you put a lot of faith in individuals and stuff like that. And you expect them to deliver, but out of that, we've overcome basically, and we've probably put on one of the best events we've ever had.
I'm not going to name and shame fighters. I don't think that's fair. It's certainly not fair for me to. But bearing in mind that they could have had a shot on one of the biggest shows in Europe, on a show that's out on 5-Star, did these guys ever get invited back?
Well, each case will be taken and dealt with kind of like individually. And I think also it's a simple things like like making weight and stuff like that. If you've matched up to a fight and you've agreed to a certain weight, just out of only your self-respect, you have to basically do what you've actually agreed to, which is to make the weight, etc. Be at the place on time and stuff like that. So it's simple things, So
Well, let's focus on the positives because, as you say, the fights that we had, they were great. How pleased are you with how tonight's come out?
Man, it's like we had some amazing fights, and I think what we've done is we've kind of whittled down, the guys that couldn't compete or didn't want to compete. Hold on, mate. Shut the fuck. So what's happened is basically we got the guys that just really wanted to fight. One fighter said to me actually, and it kind of it said something to me and it really stuck in my head, and I for some reason I kept repeating it over the last couple of days, and but it's really true, and everyone's like said, it is really true. Sometimes nowadays some fighters just want to be famous, and they don't want to fight, and they forget that actually the whole thing is about fighting, and it's about getting in there and kind of doing what you really want to do. One guy said to me, guys, like back in the day when he used to fight, he didn't know anything about his opponent. They didn't have no research on YouTube, whatever. They didn't have no access to any fight footage and stuff like that, and they would just rock up on the day, and they did it because they want to fight. They didn't do it because of money. They didn't do it for any other reason, not for fame or anything. It's for the love of fighting. And those guys are still like, even though some of them are retired and stuff like that, they're still training and they're still in the sport and stuff, and they're still involved in the sport. So, I think it's in certain aspects, the mindset has kind of like changed for MMA, because I think there's probably there's more money involved, there's more sponsorship involved and stuff like that, and so yes, there's a lot more on the line. However, fighting should be still your number one goal and your number one criteria, and just making weight and just wanting to fight should be the thing that you want to do, and everything else, you're successful at that, everything else will come along with it. And so you've got guys like Rob Sinclair and Max Nunes and stuff like that, guys who, fought for pittance, but they just love to fight, and now they're at that stage, in their careers, and there's loads of other fighters as well I can mention, they're at that stage in their careers, that, financially, they could be comfortable and basically almost command what they want.
Is there any fight or anything about tonight that's really stuck out in your mind? Were you surprised by anything, or what really excited you tonight?
I think I think the Kurt Warburton Stevie Ray fight is great. I think Luke Newman versus Ryan Scope, mate, it's for the live card. It's an awesome opener. I knew that fight would be fireworks. But nobody could predict how it was going to end. Really two young, talented guys. Really talented guys. And they both will go a really long way. And they're still they're still in their infancy of actually in their careers at the moment. But to see what they can actually do at this stage, man, a few other welterweights, best watch out. So yeah.
Jimmy Wallhead and BAMMA seem to go together like, peanut butter and jam. Sorry, that's a really crap analogy, but I'm going to stick with it. He performs here and he performs well. How important is it to have a guy like Jimmy on a multi-fight contract?
It's brilliant. I think, I think Jimmy's one of those individuals that kind of like bring out the best in BAMMA, and BAMMA bring out the best in them as well. I think it's kind of like it's same like when we had Tom as well. The same kind of unity. They just gelled. It just works. I don't know why it works. I think we're able to kind of like promote them in such a way, and then they feed off it, and then even harking back to what I was saying about they're natural born fighters, and they step up to the plate no matter who you put in front of them, so like Jimmy's had like 2 losses on Bellator and stuff, but we've given him probably equally as hard as opponents on BAMMA. And mate, he's just put on some really good performances. He just loves it and he just feeds off it. Really feeds off it. And you see it. I don't know if he's trying to hide it in his face, but he's a bad liar, because you can see he just really feeds off it. And I'm actually pleased for him actually, and I'm pleased to have him back on promotion.
Well, now the event has been over for all of about 20 minutes. Yeah. When's the next? I mean, is there? Obviously, I'm not asking for a specific. Well, I am a specific date, but how long before we can expect BAMMA 13, and is there any idea of where in the country that might be?
I don't know. I don't have the answers for you. That's for the people that that's above me in the high pay grade. And
fair enough.
Channels and stuff like that. So it's up to them. Well, it's pretty soon. I think they're going to have an announcement not too far as well.
And in an ideal world, can we hope to see 4 BAMMA this year? Would that be, as the matchmakers, is that what you'd like to see as well, and keep the BAMMA sort of brand pushing forward?
Yeah, keep the brand pushing forward, and also and really push forward the fighters. At the end of the day, man, it's you can match 2 fights and you can put these guys to fight anyway. But at the end of the day, it is it's all about entertainment. It is about entertainment, and the crowd tonight were really entertained by the fighters, and they all did their jobs really well, and I'm really happy for them.
I think over the last 6 BAMMA, it has, every time the event has become more smooth, the production has become more slick, and tonight I think you've hit your apex, your peak, especially working with Channel 5. Well, I think there's more, probably way more to go. How pleased are you with how the TV and the event have come together?
Well, I haven't seen the show on TV yet, so I'm going to watch it tomorrow actually on Channel 5. But yeah, I think the team is growing and building. We're only on our 12th show. Only on our 12th show. People forget, it's like not on the 100th show, or that's right. We've just hit double figures. But yeah, I think it's a learning process, and every single show that we do, we try to kind of like change little bits here and there. I change my team a little bit, and then we work little different type of processes. Like prime example, like was tonight. I tried out a new system within how the commissioners should work in the cage and stuff like that. Then had my head commissioners, man, who just like absolutely spot on. They're really good, and had them using it, and we kind of worked together. So we work together as a really nice team, and everyone throws their ideas in, and so it's really good. And the same thing works on the TV side. They had new like PCAM, we never had one of those before and stuff like that. So every single show is a new introduction. So yeah, it's great.
For a guy who could have been the most stressed man in MMA over the last few weeks, you got a big smile on your face. You must be pleased. It was a great result. is there anyone you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to say thank you to?
I'd like to say, actually, yeah, thank you to my missus and my little boy at the moment, and my two other kids, actually for putting up with me, actually, really. putting up with me. Love them to bits, man. Also, yeah, just thank you to just basically all my team on BAMMA. You know, brilliant. Thank you to Safe MMA and all the stuff that Safe MMA have been doing and implementing and stuff like that. And again, that's a growing process. And it's the first show that we've done that's actually not sanctioned, but is a Safe MMA event. And there's loads of stuff to iron out with regards to how the process should work, etc. But what we need to do is we need to get all the other shows on board and stuff like that. There's certain things when we did the show as well that we picked up on and that we worked with Safe MMA doing and stuff like that, and there's certain stuff that other shows do that we don't do, and the stuff that we do that other shows don't do, especially on the medical side, etc. And a lot of it came out in light, and it's really, really good and really, really fascinating. Everything's a new learning process, and it's all about kind of like growing the sport. And most of all, actually, just thank you to all the managers and all the fighters, and basically thank you to UK MMA, man, because we couldn't really do it without the fucking UK MMA bros. So yeah.
Jude, I know it's been a very busy night and a very busy few weeks. Thanks very much for taking the time just to sit and chat with me, and it was a great event. Thank you very much. That was awesome.
Cheers.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.